Yeah, I hate that for him. I didn't think it'd be that big a deal, but
Yeah.
it is.
Nobody got here 10 minutes ago.
You said she's not here yet? You said she's not here yet?
Is my mic on? I guess, yeah, you don't have to turn these on. The county. Okay.
Good morning and welcome to the July 23rd, 2025 City Council meeting. We're going to begin with the invocation from Councilman Wynn, followed by the pledge. If you'll please stand.
Let's pray. Father, creator of all, thank you for summer. Thank you for the warmth of the sun. Thank you for the beauty all around us and for the opportunity to be outside and enjoy your creation. Thank you for the longer days we have to be with friends and family and for the more casual pace of the summer season. Be with all your first responders as they keep us safe and secure. Be with all our city staff as they do the wondrous work for all of the city of Tyler. Bless our mayor and this council and our community. And let us always remember that everything we do is in your glory. Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now we're going to begin with the minutes from June the 11th, 2025.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion by Wynn, second by Hawkins. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're going to come down for some awards. All right, we've got 5 awards. One person's not here, but we got 5 awards, and they represent 100 years of service. The first one is Luis Aparicio, who I don't believe is here, so let's give him a hand anyway. He's got 20 years of service. The next one, J.H. Burge, Police Sergeant, 20 years of service. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, next we have Adam Parker, Police Sergeant, 20 years of service. Oops. Dropped your chat. Okay. Next we have Jason Shield, Police Officer, 20 years of service. And Bradley Smith, Police Officer, 20 years of service. And I'm glad y'all are still sticking around. Thank you, guys. You know, these are the people that keep us safe. And you do a tremendous job. And I just really want to say thank you for 100 years of service between you all. And the council thanks you, the public thanks you, and just thank you. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. All right, Z1, Kyle.
Good morning, Mayor and Council.
Morning.
The first item we have is a zone change request from R1A Single Family Residential to PUR Planned Unit Residential District. The applicant's requesting the zone change to develop 40 detached single-family homes within a gated development. As you see here, the property is located northwest of Cumberland Road and Biloxi Drive, just east of Wilder Trail. As you see here, the surrounding properties are zoned R1A, single-family detached. There is some planned development to the east and to the north for some commercial in this area as it may develop with an extension of New Copeland Road in the future. The surrounding properties are either developed with detached homes or are in the process of being developed with them. The request would, or is consistent with the future land use guide, identifies the property as single family, medium low density. The requested density or development here is for 40 units at a density of just under 1.5 units per acre, so it is still rather low density. The purpose of the zoning is to allow for the developer to utilize private streets within this gated development. As you see here, these are the 40 lots. And the site plan shows two access points, one to out to Wilder Trail, which eventually goes down to Cumberland Road. It also shows a gated access to the east for future extension in the future, that will allow those residents to go that way as well as those streets are developed in the future. But this is a gated development, and so there are gates on each access point, and so that will restrict the access through there in the future. It's worth noting that the proposed development is lower density than the current zoning would allow. And the additional access point to the east is in addition, or is in excess of the minimum code requirement. Since there's less than 60 lots here, there would only need to be one access point for this development if it were developed as is. I'll just also mention that it is still, all the development standards are per R1A developments. So setbacks, minimum height or maximum height setbacks and all those things are consistent with the surrounding properties in terms of what you'd expect to see. Of the notices that were sent to neighbors, we did receive favorable notices from the applicant, but also 3 notices in opposition from neighbors. You can see there to the south with the protest calculation of 18.47%. Much of that opposition was concerned about the loss of privacy as this area is developed and will remove trees that have been there, and so there is a potential loss of privacy for the existing residents, but also concerns about traffic, how that will work in the future, and then also concerned about the density. Some of those lots to the south are on over an acre. They are on larger lots, But like I mentioned before, and the applicant can mention as well, that they intend for this development to be, well, the site plan that's been approved and which will have to be followed is for 1.5 units per acre, so that is still rather low density. Also, I'd like to mention if the site plan that you see here, if that were to change, it would have to come back through the process. And so there would be public hearings, and the applicant would have to, or we would have to notify neighbors of those as well. And so if this is what they would have to develop, if they did want to change this, then it will have to come back through this body as well for approval. With that said, the Planning and Zoning Commission by a 5-2 vote recommended approval of this request.
So Kyle, under R1A, which is the current zoning, how many units could there be?
It's tough to say, but essentially the maximum density is about 4.5 units per acre. And so this is 1.5, so quite a few more. A lot of that's a 9,000 square foot lot minimum for R1A. A lot of these lots, or many of these lots are a third of an acre to greater.
All right. Any questions for Kyle before we call up Mr. Brewer? No? All right. Trey, you want to come up?
Good morning. My name is Trey Brewer. I'm the Vice President of Genacove of Real Estate for the Genacove Group. First, I want to say thank you to Kyle Kingma and Heather Nick and Daryl Kotzer and Cameron Williams for working with us on this site plan and working through the traffic issues and all that comes along with that. They've been very kind to us. We worked with the neighbors in several meetings over the last year, and we feel like we've got a good site plan here before you. Our intention on this is to take what we've done at Legacy Bend over in the Holly Tree area and replicate it over here. We built a nice 4,000 square foot parade of homes just west of this area to kind of set the tone to where it'll be a high-end large lot development. By approving this zoning, you'd be cutting the density in this area in half. Over 100 houses could be built here, and by voting yes for this, it'd be less than 50. We've talked with the neighbors about Cumberland Road, and we've seen that the Cumberland Road drainage improvement is on the CIP list for the next couple of years. And so that's something that sounds like you guys are already on top of and want to address and make better. So other than that, that's all I've got. If there's any questions, I'll be here for you.
Any questions for Mr. Brewer?
Yeah, Trey, are y'all gonna fence the whole development, or how are you going to?
Sure. So there definitely, we will put a fence up next to the gate in the front, and our architectural restrictions in different areas, it depends on what kind of fence that can be built. And typically, we ask for the high-end ornamental iron fences on the front and sides of the lots. And sometimes the sides are privacy fences, some of them on the back are privacy fences. It just depends on what works better for particular areas. Is there an area that you have in question?
Just some of the neighbors that were concerned about the development were, as Kyle mentioned, the privacy. They have huge backyards, lots of acreage, and all of a sudden they've got somebody behind them. They're not used to it. That was their concern. I know that y'all talked to them individually, and I think y'all come to consensus.
Yes, that'd be something we could definitely talk with them a little bit more about. I hadn't heard about the privacy fence issue, but that's something we could definitely talk to them about.
All right, any other questions for Trey?
No question for Trey.
I've got one. Kyle might help us if you back up a shot, Kyle, that shows more of the development. There was right here. Just, we still get the questions from the people of Wilder Way. Will that ever show a cut through? And it doesn't show that it'll ever cut through to Wilder Way. And there's no plans whatsoever for that, correct?
That is correct.
Good. Thank you.
Anybody else? Thanks, Trey. I don't have any cards in opposition. Is there anyone here that wishes to speak in opposition to this request? All right.
I got a comment, just before making a motion, is that, I know that traffic has been raised as a primary issue about this, project, and I know we, as a city, had a setback, 15 years or so ago, where the city wanted to develop the road there, and that effort was, pushed back. So we're gonna be in catch-up mode now, and I just hope we'll do as good a job as we can as a city to get that done and handle the traffic that they definitely have out there. But I don't feel like we should be penalizing the developer for what happened 15 years ago. So, with that, I move to approve Z1.
Second.
Got a motion by Curtis, second by Nichols. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Good luck with your project. All right, Z2.
This is a request for a special use permit to allow for a cell tower to be developed on this property. This is on Bennett Avenue. The applicant's requesting to construct a 150-foot tall cell tower on this property. As you see here, it's largely industrial area with warehousing and industrial activities. There is a school district facility to the east, but the building's on the further east side of that property to that INT there. Like I mentioned, the request is to build the cell tower on the southeast portion of this property here. I'll go right here. So you can see that. It's, again, so the applicant they did an analysis to make sure that there's not any possible co-location options within the area for this tower. And in their analysis, it would not be feasible to do that. I think the closest tower is down on Walton Road, further to the south, and then I think one to the northeast as well. And so they've identified that there's coverage needs in this area, and that this tower would accomplish those needs. And so they are showing this site plan here. It does show the tower on the southeast portion. Again, this is tied to the special use permit. If this were to change, we'd have to come back through the process and evaluate it again. Just a photo of the property there. There is existing development on the property, and they had to kind of work around that to make sure they weren't blocking any gates or anything on that property already. Of the notices that were sent out, we did not receive any in opposition or in favor from any of the property owners within 200 feet. As you can see here, and the planning commission by a unanimous vote recommended approval.
Any questions for Kyle? We do have a card here from the applicant. Do y'all have any questions for the applicant? All right. Oh, you're coming up.
Good morning, Mayor, Council. My name is Vince Hebinger with Vincent Gerard and Associates. As Kyle was saying, they looked at, cell towers around the area. I think the closest one is 1.5 miles. What this is a capacity and a gap site. Last week, looking at the amount of data volumes, in other words, your attachments on that phone, tripled in 3 years. So they're running into capacity problems on existing sites. And this is also a gap area where they're going to pick up some in-building coverage in that area of town. So, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer you. I don't need to go through a wireless 101 presentation. You have a big agenda today.
Appreciate you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So move.
Second.
Got a motion by Hawkins, second by Wynn. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, Z3.
This is a request for a zone change from agricultural district to C2 general commercial. This is on Grande Boulevard, the corner of Oak Hill Boulevard. As you see here, it's currently undeveloped. All these properties their surrounding properties are currently undeveloped. There is future plans to the northwest for for higher density housing. And as we know, Old Jacksonville Highway expansion in the future as well to the east. And so the applicant plans to rezone this property from ag, which that's how it was annexed, and have a commercial designation for it. As you see here, this would amend the future land use guide to general commercial. We have had some zone changes. I'll go back to you can kind of see the C2 to the northwest and then to the northeast. And actually there's some to the southwest as well, where in the past 5 years or so, we've done some zone changes for those areas to C2 as well. Here's the property as it is right now. And of the notices that were sent out, none were received in opposition. We did receive one in favor from the applicant. And then the planning commission by a unanimous vote recommended approval.
Any questions for Kyle?
Nope, so moved.
Second.
Motion by Hawkins, second by Wynn. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. C4.
We have a request for a right-of-way closure for a portion of an unimproved street. This is what would have been Buddy Street as it intersected with Walton Road. The west side of the right-of-way was already abandoned years ago, and so the applicant's asking to abandon this portion to be able to help facilitate development of those 2 lots on the south side. These 2 lots here. So if this is abandoned, they can move those lot lines over and develop those lots. There is a house on the north side, and this would kind of help that because their driveway is within the right-of-way, so this may help them with that. But again, it's going to help or facilitate development in that area. There are utility lines that will need to be put in easements as it's replatted in the future. But the planning commission, by a unanimous vote, recommends approval, subject to the property being replatted within 6 months.
Any questions for Kyle?
Nope, so moved.
Second.
Motion by Hawkins, second by Curtis. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks.
R1. Deborah.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Mayor and Council. I'm here to present to you a resolution asking for the council to suspend a recent filing that we received from Encore. On June 26th of this year, Encore Delivery Company filed an application seeking to increase its system-wide transmission and distribution rates by about $834 million, or approximately 13% over its present revenues. If approved, an average residential customer would see a bill increase of about $7.90 per month. The resolution that we are asking the council to consider suspends the July 31st, 2005 effective date of the company's rate increase for the maximum period that is permitted by law, which is 90 days. This time frame is to allow the city of Tyler to work in conjunction with the steering committee of the cities that serve Encore to evaluate the filing, determine whether the filing complies with the law, and then to determine further strategy, if so, including settlement. We've been through this process several times before, almost now every year. It looks like that we have to do this. The city is a part of the steering committee for Encore. They serve us very well. And so also a part of this resolution also seeks to approve the ability of the steering committee to review the rates, to hire attorneys, and to pursue whatever strategies, including settlement or litigation, that would allow us to. So that's what this resolution is for.
All right, any questions for Deborah?
Move to approve R1.
Second.
Got a motion by Curtis, second by Hawkins. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Tom Trimble, we appreciate you. You bet. All right. 01.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. This is a request that the City Council consider adopting or re-adopting our Chapter 2 adopted guidelines and criteria for tax abatement. The amended guidelines remove the prescriptive examples of eligible facilities and allow more flexibility. So to give you an example of what I'm talking about, the current document references manufacturing facilities, distribution facilities, corporate offices, research parks, and finally, major tourist attractions. So it's very prescriptive in what is eligible, and the amended policy is more in line with what the Smith County just amended for their policy, so we're mirroring that to allow for that flexibility, but ultimately the council has to approve all tax abatements, but it allows the staff to work on these as we're bringing it to you. So with that, we are recommending that the City Council adopt the ordinances as presented for the amended guidelines and criteria governing the tax abatement policy.
Any questions for Heather?
Move to approve 01.
Second.
Got a motion by Curtis, second by Wynn. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Heather. 02.
You gave a shout out to Tom. Scott's here too, if you want to give him a shout out.
Scott, appreciate you. And you ladies. All right.
It's me again.
Oh, it's you again.
Yes, sir. Twice in a row. And you might have a little get back today, Mayor, because you see that very long reading of what O2 is about. But let me try to summarize that for you. Every year or two, our deputy city attorney goes through our codes and tries to ensure that we are aligned with what the current law is, as well as what our current practice are. So Stephen King did that again for us, and he has drafted this ordinance. And what it's intended to do is just to have cleanups and other changes in City Code Chapter 1. Allow me to kind of quickly go through what most of the primary substantive parts of this code that this ordinance would change. At the request of code enforcement, there are changes for the Neighborhood Revitalization Board. Currently, it is listed as a periodic board, means it gets together as needed. But because of the way that code enforcement is working on substandard houses, they really have asked for this to change to a regular board, a standing set time and date. Also, the ordinance wants to add TERS Board number 4 to the current list of periodic boards. It's no different than any of the other TERS boards, and so it should be on that list, similar to the other TERS boards. Currently, the code reflects that the city ethics ordinance applies to more than advisory boards. And that allows for the city attorney's office to review those applications for more than advisory boards. Sometimes the advisory boards also get reviews, but the code has it for all boards. What it should have is just for more than advisory boards, and so it makes that change. The code also currently requires that the city clerk provide attendance and status reports on city boards to the city council, and that it also approve all internal city board rules for their operations. Both of these are not the current practice of the city's operations. City clerk reports to the council upon request, and this amendment would allow for that to be changed to upon request, and would allow that the boards continue to adopt their own internal rules as they are doing right now. And finally, the ordinance amends the penalty clause to include the zoning board and height hazard regulations that were recently adopted. So now with this ordinance, those penalty clauses will be added. And finally, it amends the city administrative appeals process so that the city manager can include both city employees as well as non-city employees to serve on advisory groups to assist the manager in the appeals process. And that is also something that has been a practice from time to time, and so we want the code to be aligned to the city's practice. And that's what this ordinance provides in terms of changes.
And that was the summary.
She's an attorney. All right, any questions for Deborah?
Move to approve O2.
Second.
Got a motion by Curtis, second by Hawkins. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Council.
All right, M1. Leanne.
Good morning, Mayor. Good morning, Council.
Morning.
Good morning.
I am here to request that the City Council consider authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement providing the transfer and the building and the lot at 2000 West Gentry Parkway and a one-time grant to the Tyler Metropolitan Chamber of Commerce. Highlights for this agreement will include the City of Tyler will transfer the building and property as it is to the Tyler Metro Chamber of Commerce, provided that the building is used for to promote a public service. Should the organization cease to exist for a public purpose, the building and the property would revert back to the City of Tyler. Maintenance and upkeep of the building will be at the expense of the Tyler Metro. If any time the organization fails to utilize the property in a manner that promotes a public purpose, the City of Tyler then will automatically revert back to the City of Tyler, the ownership of it. And Tyler Metro Chamber of Commerce is required to comply with all federal, state, and local regulations pertaining to the operation of the nonprofit. The City of Tyler will also provide a one-time grant in the amount of $50,000 to the Tyler Metro Chamber of Commerce. The sole purpose of this grant is to fund roof repairs located at 2000 West Gentry. The organization agrees to submit a final report within 60 days of project completion, including a summary of work completed, receipts or invoices, photographs, and any other documentation reasonably requested by the City of Tyler. So the request is that the City Council consider authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement for the transfer of the building and lot located at 2000 West Gentry Parkway, Tyler, Texas, at a one-time grant in the amount of $50,000 to the Tyler Metropolitan Chamber of Commerce.
All right, any questions for Leanne?
Yes, you already have well, there's Sandra. Hey, Miss Sandra. Hey, do you already have a roofer? You got bids already? And- Okay.
And she would like to make a comment if you guys will.
Sure, come on up.
Come on up, Sandra.
Leanne, how long have they been in the building?
Come on up. I need to get your name and address, or at least your name for the record.
Yes, I'm Sandra Burns, Executive Director at Tyler Metro Chamber of Commerce. Good morning, Mayor
Good morning.
and Council. So the organization has been there over 20 years, is my understanding. Yeah.
So it's great that y'all are gonna get your home, permanent home.
Yes, we're excited about this opportunity, and I am standing on behalf of Tyler Metro Chamber of Commerce today to thank you, Mayor and Council, to publicly thank you all for this consideration. It's with sincere gratitude that we express your collaboration on this project and moving this project forward for the acquisition of this building on 2000 West Gentry Parkway, as formerly stated. I think it's great for you all's leadership and commitment to empower local businesses here in the great city of Tyler, and we're truly appreciative of it. I want everyone to know that this milestone would not have been possible without the efforts of each of you, and we're especially grateful. I would be remiss if I did not give homage and recognize some very important people who had listening ears, open minds, and willing to act. Their presence at the table was instrumental in this project, and those names are, in her absence, Councilmember Shonda Marsh, Councilmember Petra Hawkins, Kedrick Trimble, and none other than the amazing Leanne Robinette. It's just been great to work with these 4 individuals on this project, and we sincerely thank each of you. We look forward to partnering with the city to create more opportunities for small and minority businesses, entrepreneurs, and residents alike in the years ahead. So thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Amazing.
Amazing.
I like that.
Feels so special.
All right. I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve M1.
Second.
Got a motion by Hawkins, second by Wynn. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good luck. Hope it all goes well. All right, M2. Benny, Darren.
Good morning, Mayor and Council.
Good morning. Morning.
I've never heard anybody say that about Benny.
You probably won't.
First time I've heard
Just kidding.
Wait, Stuart. As you, all right, Stuart threw me off. Here we talk about IT relocation and renovation of the new building on Locust Street. As you guys, most of you are aware, IT has been on the 3rd floor of City Hall for nearly over 27 years. And since I've been here 24 years, and a lot of things has changed. As you guys can see, on this left side of your screen, when I started out, we only had 2 computer systems. One was the AS400, which housed most of the ERP system, which means all the financial, all the police data, everything else. And on the left side, we had an email server. And the total amount of storage we had was only 500 gig, that we used to back it up on 700 of these CDs, which today fits on the palm of your hand. But as you can see on the right side, we have grown tremendously. We have over 440 virtual servers, 450 virtual desktops, and many networking equipment, telecommunication, firewall, you name it, UPSs is upstairs. And all of these new technologies has brought its own challenges. We also provide services to other entities, City of White House, and we also provide services to 911. The challenges that is brought up for us is 3 things. Number 1 is the weight on the 3rd floor. Number 2 was the space. Number 3 is actually the air conditioning. On the weight side, we have reached out to structural engineer and asked the structural engineer, can we add any more equipment? They recommended for us, we cannot add any more because it would damage the 3rd floor. So we decided to move all the equipment as much as we could on a police department on Ferguson and also on South Police Department. And as we're going again to space, it's been becoming very difficult. Can you go back? Yeah. Space has been an issue for us. As you can see, we even transformed the hallway into the triage area that we can work on and put the equipment in there. And the small room that we have, the air conditioning, we have nearly over 20 tons of air conditioning, and it's barely enough for us to pump air and keep the humidity going. So it's all of these been the challenges for us to maintain. On October 22, council was gracious enough to allow us to purchase the Clay White Schaefer's law office on the 205 West Locust Street, which you can see on the screen. And we have since contracted with Harris Craig Architect for them to renovate to make this IT ready for the next 25, 30 years for us coming. So some of the things that I want to talk to you guys about, the changes that are being made. This building has a little history. It used to be the tallest building in Tyler. You guys used to be the city hall and also fire station at one time. Then it was converted to a drive-through bank. As you guys can see, the triangle on the middle, that actually is the drive-through bank. It still has those bulletproof glasses in there. And so we asked our architect to make sure it's ready, so we made some ADA modification. I'm gonna start from the right side. We had to work with fire department also. We added the egress in that area to make sure it's ADA and fire ready for that. And we took the closet right there where the server room is. We took that and expanded it into the computer room to make sure we have adequate room to put all of our servers and enough air conditioning so we can keep that room cool. And again, moving left, we also added a lift so we can be able to make that ADA compliant to get to that area. Moving left side, we also added a 9-foot door to make sure that we can move the servers in the hallway to bring it in to the server room to be able to maneuver our stuff. And we added a canopy on the left side that we can work on the city vehicles like the public safeties and the code enforcement stuff. And at this time, I'm going to ask Mayor and Jenny to come up and discuss about the way that we went out for bids and how we secured the funding. Thank you.
All right, basically what wanted to let him tell you the scope and the history of the project. Now I'll tell you about the process we went through to go ahead and get all this going. So we actually advertised for bids on the project April 30th and May 7th. We opened bids on May 20th. Actually, it was proposals rather than bids. Now, the low bidder and the qualified was, as you can see, we had 4 bids. The lowest was $3,050,000. The next bid was $3,057,000. You know, Riley Harris missed it by $7,000. So, but we thought they were very good bids. Now, at first we thought we were maybe did a little high or something, but they are, in talking with the architect, they are consistent with bids that they've received on other projects. So, as far as the total project cost, I want to be open and up front with y'all. The construction is $3,050,000. Furniture and appliances is $180,000, and then he has some server racks he needs to go ahead to be able to use and purchase for this also. Funding, what we have is we have had HalfCent had $2.1 million in there for the budget for the last 3 years. So that's what we're giving. We're not increasing that, we're not decreasing that. We are giving them what was in the budget for this project in the HalfCent sales tax. And to compensate for that, and he is giving over his general fund IT budget is giving about almost 1.4 million of his internal funds to fund this project. So we, any questions before I read the final recommendation?
Darren, what's the timeline?
Timeline, we have about 180 days of construction here on this.
Beginning?
We'll begin next month. We'll have the pre-construction conference, so we'll get the executed contract started this week, get them to the contractor. Usually takes a couple of weeks to get all the bonds and everything together. Then we will have a pre-construction conference and they'll have 10 days to start construction.
Benny, how much of your current equipment will you relocate, and how is that process gonna, or is it gonna be redundancy or all new?
We're gonna be moving equipment little by little to the next room, but we are also contracted with 911 to have a redundancy on the Shelby Drive. So we're gonna move everything over there before we move everything to the next building, so.
I've got a question for you, Benny.
Yes, sir.
But also a statement. You know, when you think about, you talk about the weight
Yes.
of all the equipment there, you think about whose office is underneath that, and then whose office is underneath that, I think it would take Stephanie and Deborah.
Yeah.
So, I'm just,
We could still make it. Still make it. The deputy city attorney, his office is like next to the safe. I think that's pretty secure.
so I get the necessity of it.
Yeah, thank you.
But, you know, something that has changed so much since you first came,
Yeah.
and you think about cybersecurity, and, you know, we even carry cybersecurity insurance. Can you just briefly talk about the number of guys that you have, and a little bit about just what it takes to keep our system safe?
Well, we have total of 16 people, including myself and Susan as an admin. And every day that we look at cybersecurity is really 4 of us will look at every event that's happening. Every day the attack is getting double or not triple that we look at. Like yesterday, we had a couple of people that their account was getting compromised. It's luckily that we have that 2FA in there, so it blocked them for getting to access. So it is a reoccurring and it's really a tough job. It's just what we say is a matter of when. But knock on wood, we've been doing a good job so far to keeping the bad guys away. But this is happening as we talk. They're continuously knocking at our door and just trying to get in. And we're trying to ask all of our staff to be vigilant, to make sure the email you get, any information that you get, that did you expect that to receive it? So it's a constant training for our staff.
It's very effective in keeping me confused and accessing my city emails. I mean, so it's effective.
We do the best we can.
All right, any questions for Benny or Darren before Darren reads the request? All right.
All right, we would like to recommend the city council consider approving city manager to execute a contract for the IT infrastructure relocation project to Watson Commercial Construction in the amount of $3,050,000, bid number 25-035, and approve funding and allowance of $430,000 for furniture, appliances, and server racks. Watson Commercial Construction in the amount of $3,050,000. So, there we go.
Mr. Mayor, it's a lot of money, but compared to the Federal Reserve remodel, this is a bargain. I move to approve him too.
Second.
Poor J. File.
Motion by Curtis, second by Nichols. Any further discussion? Hope not. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, guys. All right, we're down to the consent agenda. Anything need to be pulled or approved as written?
Move to approve the consent agenda as written.
Second.
Got a motion by Curtis, second by Nichols. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now, the Rub-a-Dub people, I see you out there. Your item was in the consent agenda, so we didn't get to do a shout out, but I love your yellow shirts. Glad you're here. All right, down to the city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. So as if you didn't need an excuse to go to Stanley's, they are hosting a Give Back Day for the Friends of the Tyler Public Library on August 5th, starting at 11 o'clock a.m. So don't forget to text a copy of your receipt to the phone number that we can provide for you, and mark your calendars for going to Stanley's on Tuesday, August 5th, to help give back to the library. So one of the projects we've been working on for over a year now has been on the Legacy Trail Phase 2. And you'll see the trailhead there on 155 is pretty well complete. TxDOT was able to give us, as far as clearance on that last week, which now allows for us to do demo of the garage and work on the house that is a part of the trailhead and future Stewart Park that is located there. So we have to give some time there for kind of the garage to get full clearance for the demolition, but we should be within the next 30 days be able to take that out, and you'll just be able to see quite a bit of work there. If the trail isn't officially open yet, but if you do get a chance to go through it, we highly encourage it. It's just a wonderful ability to kind of go through different neighborhoods and ultimately get to Pete Elementary. And so it's about, probably about 4 miles back and forth. And then finally, on the consent decree, line A is beginning. Now, back in February, City Council approved a major milestone in our consent decree capacity program, which was the award of a $28.2 million sewer site 13A2 improvements project to Belt Construction, which marks the launch of our Capacity Group 2 effort. This large-scale project, often referred to as the Line A sewer upgrade, designed to increase sewer system capacity and reliability along the city's critical infrastructure systems. And so since the contract was awarded, Belt Construction hit the ground running. And so they have materials that have started arriving on the site, and the first phase of installation is now underway. Work began at the downstream end of the alignment, where crews have already installed approximately 2,000 linear feet of 42-inch sanitary sewer main. One key coordination effort has been working with rail pros to ensure continuous observation of the bore underneath the Union Pacific Railroad, a vital safety and regulatory requirement. Meanwhile, the project team is closely working with the city's transportation department to implement carefully phased traffic control plans, balancing construction needs with the flow of daily life through our city streets. As of now, the project is approximately 15% complete, and we're encouraging momentum and strong partnership across the teams. So you remember, this is the line that actually starts up and towards towards Delic in that area, comes through the hospital district, and ultimately will come into downtown. So It is a very large project and will be one that's seen and impacting many as far as people coming through our community, or people living in our community, and our businesses. So we will do our best to kind of keep everyone aware of that project as it continues moving forward.
All right, any comments or questions for the city manager before we adjourn?
I'm laughing at him because he's doing this, like this, he's just
You
ready to
wanna-
hit it.
you wanna do it?
No,
You want to say it before we adjourn?
no, you go ahead, I'm just
I
laughing at
understand a
you.
motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
He's doing this like, it's like, hurry up, Ed.